Hello, world. We are anonymous. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Be careful over there, I just farted. I am never having a party at my house again. These people all know the same thing. I am Hobbs, and you are watching the Underground Bunker on Bloodrock Media.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Underground Bunker. I am your host, Hobbs. And as you know, this is a weekly web series where I showcase unsigned and underground bands that you really ought to be paying attention to. I talk about everything under the sun, from pop rock to death metal, because in this day and age where everyone is pissed off about every fucking little thing, we all need to be listening to more music. We all need to be listening to old music. Can't be angry all the time, fellas. Stop listening to Pantera. Make sure you get some Frankie Goes to Hollywood in there sometime. A couple weeks ago, the music community lost a very treasured person. His name was Chad Hanks. I covered his band about a month ago. They were called American Head Charge. I'm not going to get into it, but Chad died doing what he loved, but he also died doing what killed him. Now, I would like to gently, and I mean gently because there's a lot of people who can easily take offense to what I'm about to say, but I would like to gently suggest that we all learn something from this. We have lost so many people in the last year, in the past couple of years, from Wayne Static to Chad, for all similar purposes, and you all know what we're talking about. Metal and rock are very selfish genres, and I mean selfish in the purest sense of the word, not necessarily the negative way, but metal and rock are very of the person. And we all get into this for different reasons, but by and large, we get into it because we're damaged people. However, damage does not mean we necessarily have to lose ourselves in certain substances. And Chad was a very good friend of mine. And I really wish he were still here today. And there's too many people dying for stupid shit. We all know that certain things done in excess will kill us. I suggest humbly that you, my friends, learn something from this experience, because there was a memorial show for him last weekend. I couldn't bring myself to go because I couldn't justify being in a room full of people doing the exact same thing that killed him. So, please, people, stop killing yourselves. Rant over. Let's do a fucking show. Today's first band is a band that I've been following for a while, and that's mostly because I enjoy a band that dresses up for the gig. There's just not enough of that. These guys are a horrorcore metal band from the East Coast. They are called Kissing Candace. Now, like many of you, one of the things that mainly drew me to this band was their look. And, you know, I've said many times before, there's not enough bands that dress up for the show. You know, there's just too many bands that'll wake up, you know, put on a sleeveless, wrinkly freaking shirt and then cut up jeans and get on stage. These guys really don't do that. These guys are a 5-piece band that got their start in Long Island, New York in 2011. The guy who started it is this guy named Joey Simpson, who used to be a keyboard player for a band called Dr. Acula? Dr. Acula. Like Dracula? Got it. And like a whole lot of bands that, you know, do this kind of thing, they got noticed really quickly. And, you know, that will happen because any band that wears masks is going to get noticed. Good or bad, they're going to get noticed. Yeah, they've had to address a couple of things at a couple of points, not the least of which is being compared to Slipknot. I personally don't think they sound a whole lot like them. I think they have more of a modern feel. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit nu metal, but I think it's got more gent than Slipknot's ever had. that's one of the reasons why I like them. When Slipknot started going, doing what was that one? The one with sulfur on it. When Slipknot started doing that, and by the way, that's the one that they hate the most because none of them were actually in the same room with each other while they were recording it, and you can tell. These guys, they're old school. They do all the stuff themselves, and they fucking rock at it. Every single one of them's got a say in where the music goes, even though Joey started the band. They released their first EP, which is called Murder, right after they got together. It's in 2012. Right after that, they got signed to Victory Records, and I think they put that out again through Victory. I think pretty much right after that, they started doing albums. Now, these guys, not only have they played, Knotfest and stuff, understandably, they've toured the nation several times. They're currently on tour with Psychostick. They're gearing up for another tour starting early next year, and I think they're playing in Chicago, so I'm going to be there, definitely. One really interesting thing about these guys is the bio on their Facebook page. And I know this is kind of a peripheral thing, but I like it a lot. It's, they don't change it for the album cycle. And what I mean by that is they started with their bio at the top from the beginning, and then have continued just to add to it, which I think is, it's poorly written, but I think it's pretty cool to just sort of, Egyptianize that, where you're just sort of writing on the wall and you can't erase all that stuff. They've taken to just sort of include every chapter of their lives in their bio. I think that's kind of cool. Like I said before, they're on tour with Psychostick. They're going to be on tour early next year in support of their brand new EP, Safe Word, which was just released on November 17, 2017. You can pick it up at kissingcandace.com. You also got the iTunes, Spotify, blah, 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 blah. Check them out, Kissing Candace. They are worth your time. Most of you who have already heard of this group probably almost cried, if not bawled your fucking eyes out during a certain very emotional scene of the cartoon Rick and Morty. If you don't know who these guys are, they are called Chaos.
Lay it down, let me see your hand. Show me what you got. You're always talking, but you're not playing.
Now, those of you who know these guys love these guys. And what's really sad to me is even the ones who know about them and love them, a lot of them, probably haven't even checked them out on Facebook, which is kind of sad because they're fucking amazing. I have every single thing they've ever done because of the Rick and Morty episode, and haven't looked back. They don't even they even offer their music donations. They just accept donations. So I gave them $10. It's really worth it. And the song that you're listening to, of course, is Do You Feel It, which was the song that was featured on Rick and Morty. And it's off the EP Committing to the Crime. Their music has this electro, but not overly so, feel to it. And as you can see, it's just two sisters playing next, on stage with each other. Giggity. They used to be called Smush, and they changed the name a couple of years ago. They started in 2012, did Smush for a while, and then they changed it just a couple of years ago. The scene that this song is featured in is a scene after one of the main characters gets dumped, and it's really good, and it makes you feel. It hits you where you live. It hit me in the feels. Now, despite their supposed popularity, because I'm sure there's tens of thousands of people that love these guys, they don't have a huge following, which is, like I said, it's kind of sad. I think currently they have just over 9,000 people on their Facebook list, and I definitely think there should be more of these people. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people where if I hear something really cool on something I'm watching, I check it out. I run Do Not Walk to my nearest computer and find everything there is to know about these guys. I think more people should do that. Their newest single just came out. I think it was earlier this year. It's called In This Place. It's a very good song. I hope you'll check it out. And you can check out the band on their Facebook page. They have a Bandcamp page where all their stuff is available for donations only. And check them out on SoundCloud. They're called Chaos. Segway. I can't say enough about this next band. I reviewed their album on the website a couple of months ago, I think it was July, and gave them the coveted 5 out of 5. There are very few bands that I do that for because it's difficult to be that good. These guys are that good. Despite the fact that they're not a stage band, these guys will rip your ears out through your mouth. They are called Progenitor Pura. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot on this band. What I do have for you is that. They're a three-piece band out of Sardinia, Italy, which I really want to visit there because there's so much good music that comes out of Europe. Now, they started in 2009 as a studio project, and I haven't heard all their earlier stuff, but I did a review of this particular album on bloodrockmedia.com, and it was one of the few bands that I gave the 5 out of 5 because they're fucking worth it. One of the things that I happen to mention in the review is they remind me a lot of Mechina, whom, if you watch the first episode, I love. Progenitorista Pura quickly rose in the ranks because of that, because I love open world epic shit. The album cover says it all, you know, big open space battles kind of stuff. And it should surprise you very little that in their genre listing on their Facebook page it says Mass Effect. And if you know me at all, you know that I am a huge Mass Effect fan. Huge Mass Effect fan. I have a shrine right over there to Mass Effect. So that got me hooked right away. These guys have 3 albums to date. The latest one is Ultra Luna, which is the song that the song that you're listening to is off that album. It is 5 tracks and it's 55 minutes long. That's really cool. Less songs with movements. And I can dig that. I really can. The only downside is I have no idea what they're doing right now. For everything I got in their press release, I don't have a single clue as to what they're doing. I wish they would be a little bit more active on their Facebook page, guys. You need to be checking these guys out on their Bandcamp. You can find them on their Facebook page. And I think their music is distributed through avantgardemusic.com. So definitely go there. Do not walk. Do not collect $200. Get their fucking music right fucking now. This next band was a surprising one for me. They reached out to us during the email blast we put out before we started the show, and it struck me that these guys reminded me so much of one of my all-time favorite bands in the world ever. They are called Past Tense. Classic 80s fucking metal. That's what stuck out to me right away. I mean, sweethearts. Their singer, right away, his voice struck me because one of my all-time favorite bands in the world is Skid Row. And I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking about the original with Sebastian Bach. That guy could fucking sing. The first concert I ever saw was Skid Row opening up for Guns N' Roses at Alpine Valley, May 5th, 1993? 92? 93. No. 90, whatever. Skid Row comes out on stage, Sebastian Bach does that mic whipping thing, and my face melted off. Surprisingly, the first time when I heard these guys, I didn't go, oh, they're trying to rip off Skid Row. Because they're not. They're doing their own thing. They used to be actually a thrash metal tribute band, and then they got some balls and started writing their own stuff and actually becoming a real band. When a tribute band decides to go original, I can only surmise that it is a very difficult process. Because, like so many tribute bands, and I'm not saying cover bands, I actually respect cover bands. Tribute bands, however, look the part, they act the part, they are the people. These guys ditched all that and became a real band. So I can respect the process that was required to do something like that, to suddenly say, okay, we're going to write a whole bunch of our own songs now so we don't lose any momentum and get back on stage as quickly as possible. And they did it. And they did okay. This song, Let the Sin Begin, it's pretty fucking awesome. And I didn't expect it to be. One thing I really love about this band is they don't throw anything in the can. And when I say that, I don't mean that they're not letting you think anything that's not there. Even their promo shot just screams, we're an 80s style fucking metal band. Because their promo shot even has like every single one of the members standing there with the instrument they play, which is totally 80s. Now, here's my bitch. Guys, I'm talking to you, past tense. Get some merch. Find me a way to download your music, because I would. I couldn't find anything about that. They have a website, which is pasttense.rocks, which is really cool. For a band that's so close to me, I would like to start repping their stuff. They're playing a benefit on December 9th at the Loft in Lansing, Michigan. If you are in the area, I think you should definitely check it out. For one, their music is awesome, and two, it's a benefit, so the money's going to a good cause. Segway! The last band today is another one of those bands that I wouldn't necessarily have found if I weren't already attracted to that sound. And what struck me about this group is something that I'm not entirely sure how I feel about yet. With that, I give you Bison Machine. Honestly, it surprises even me that I like this band. I don't get into a whole lot of stoner rock. Mostly because of Nirvana. Because I can't stand Nirvana. And please keep the fucking pitchforks out of my face. Can't stand them. That said, I like these guys. They have sort of a Mastodon wolf mother thing about them that is actually kind of cool. Very listenable stuff. And one of the things that got me quickly was the singer. His name's Tom. And he kind of reminds me of Papa Emeritus from Ghost. He's got that kind of weird, dragging, singing all in minors timbre to his voice. And it really, you wouldn't think that it works, but it does. And I liked it a lot. Not a whole lot else I can say about these guys. I do know they were supposed to play a show on December 9th that got canceled. But beyond that, you should definitely check them out on their Facebook, on the Bandcamp, and do it right fucking now. That's all we have for this episode of the Underground Bunker, people. I remind you once again to like and subscribe. You all know how this works. We have tons of videos that you want to check out, including my other show, The Fallout Shelter, where I interview touring bands. We also review band material. If you want your band material reviewed, email bloodrockmedia@gmail.com. Check out the band links, which are below. You all want to be listening to this stuff. It's good. Speaking of listening, Spotify. We have a Spotify playlist right down there that we update every week to include the bands that I cover on each episode. It is getting long now. Also, we have Twitter for Bloodrock. Check that out. And also check out the Facebook pages for Bloodrock and the Underground Bunker. The links are below. And if you have 54 spare minutes, please check out my personal project, The Toxic Dream. I'm going to leave you with this remark. We all need to start loving more. We all need to start loving music more. Get out to the shows. Long are the days when we would pack a place just because there is music. We definitely need to be getting back to that. There is not enough loving. There is not enough partying. Get out there and fucking party with some goddamn bands. I'm Hobbs. I'm fucking out of here.